Hello. Good morning, rather. My name is Joe. Uh, I'm pretty new with doing this video thing. I'm not gonna lie. Probably got about less than 50 videos up right now, but as far as views, I'm trying to, I guess, catch my groove, my niche. Uh, I do, however, know that I am being restricted in some form or fashion, which I like to convey this message to those people that have been involved with my life, particularly currently, but just to let them know that you've done nothing more than join a pack of individuals that were involved in my life from a long time ago, like when I was 3. So you joined that pack, and for whatever reason, and I'll state this again, that you are unable to satisfactorily, yeah, do what it is that you want to do is a testament to the creator that I believe in, which you guys told me to believe in. This is a testament to that creator which I believe in, which I believe was waiting for me to wake up and use you guys to wake me up. So I initially started my podcast speaking about the childhood trauma that I was subjected at the hands of certain individuals who were here before the current people that are currently involved in my life. To let you know, you probably bumped heads with them. I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to say A, B, D. Right. I'm going to say that like that. So what I like to do, I'm trying again, like I said, I'm trying to find my niche. I've done the tarot, and I like doing that. Now I think I'm going to meander off into doing specific topics for each podcast. I do have one that I'm not podcast, video, YouTube. I apologize. I do have one subject that I believe I am going to focus on, perhaps make another channel, devote that channel to everything concerning that topic, and use my tarot cards, since I'm under the belief that I'm gifted. If I speak about a certain topic all the time, like for example, once a week put out a reading on this particular topic or this particular organization, to let others know weekly what they are doing if I am not who I'm supposed to be, then the tarot card for that week will not be true. But if you start to see earmarks during the week in this organization that remind you of something that you saw here on the video, I may be who I'm really supposed to be. So as I found that people were poking and prodding me, it's time for me to do the poking and prodding at you. Congratulations. You are now my master, as I've been you guys' master by you focusing just on one individual. Now what I've decided to do is to switch that and make each one of you my master by devoting my time specifically to you and what you are doing before you even do it. You play a silly game, you get a silly prize. So this particular video, I decided to, it's going to be called Indentured Servitude. That's today's topic. Now, I do have my phone here. If you guys do not know what, let me see if I could do this. If you do not know what indentured servitude is, I apologize for being blurry all that time. If you do not know what indentured servitude, I'm going to wing it, and then I'm going to probably pull my phone out and get a definition. What's hard for me to do right now is to say anything without knowing exactly the words that I'm saying. And what I mean by that is I have my awareness to things has been heightened because of people poking and prodding at me. So that's why I'm returning it. But I'm very careful or cognizant with the words that I use. And even now, I know I will get lost in a book, a thesaurus or etymology book, finding and discovering what caricatures of the alphabet placed together mean this or mean that. And then when you get a group of caricatures, alphabet, and you mash them together, the meaning they originally held, along with the meaning of what's added to it, and perhaps even the meaning of what's added to those two, does resonate. It means something. It's a vibrational frequency. So anyway, indentured servitude, I'm just going to shoot this from the hip. N-I-N, or it could be E-N, dentured, D-E-N-T-U-R-E-D. There's a whole lot of, in etymology, there's a whole lot of pieces that you can put together for that. I'm going to let that go. Indentured servitude means someone, at least from my understanding, this occurred, at the end of slavery, when slavery was finally abolished here, at least in the United States, officially. And the reason for that is Lincoln didn't want to lose the war. Excuse me. Abraham Lincoln didn't want to lose the war, so that's why he said, you know what? The very people that you have enslaved, I'm going to grant them their life, their freedom, if they fight for it. That's simple. That's simple. Wow. That's simple. Who would not fight for their freedom? Any of you out there that's watching this can care to answer that? Think out loud. Maybe I'll hear you. Who would not want to fight for their freedom? Let's take some guesses. Okay, I'm gonna guess with you. Let me see if I can tune in. See if I can tune in to you guys. Who would not want to fight for their freedom? I hear someone who knows, someone who's told what they're gonna do. Let me see what else you got. Okay, so we say someone who's told what they're gonna do. So someone who doesn't want to work for whatever it is they want. Okay, I heard you guys say that too. What else? Let me see. People that like to cheat. People want an easy way out. Okay, come on, you guys communicating. Keep going. I think indentured servitude is in specific, to be specific, pertaining to these slaves, as I was starting to say, that when the slaves realized that they were free because of the actions, the legislation that Abraham Lincoln enacted purposefully to win a war and not purposefully to set Negroes free. Understand that. Many Negroes were freed. They were in a land far, far away from where they had known or knew or born. That rings bells for me, at least, being far, far away from any and everything that you've known, and being a distance from where they were actually born. They're stripped of knowledge of self, their language. They're stripped of family. A lot of slaves, they went this way and that way. When they hit the podium, that was the last time they saw their brother, sister, mother, uncle, aunt, whatever. Here's a question I ask for you guys out there. Where's that at? Do you believe that the slave trade would be viewed as atrocious today if it were actually African Americans that enslaved Caucasians, and that Caucasians today were the ones being hunted and gang stalked by police and dragged out their car and choked until they died on camera? Would it be the same? Let me get back. Indentured servitude. These slaves, they realized they had their freedom, but guess what? As I stated, they're in a land they know nothing about. So while they had their freedom, their way of living revolved around being of service to someone for free, because their color, the tint in their skin said that they had to perform labor and services because of the color of your skin. The color of this keyboard said, you supposed to do things for me for free, and if you don't, I'm gonna kill you, your kid, whip you, whatever, feed your babies to gators so I can put on some gator boots. The color of this keyboard had a people believing that they were superior to someone. I'm not racist, I'm not prejudiced. Let me say this and I'll get back on the subject. You can always go from dark, this here, dark. You can go from dark to light. As a matter of fact, in the Bible, that's how they said it happened. There was darkness, let there be light. But you can never get light and go dark. It's only one way this works. There's no adding something to whiteness, the color whiteness, to make it darker. You cannot continue to add white or take white to get dark. You can take dark from dark and you'll get lighter. I hope I ain't confusing y'all. Anyway, so slaves, they were given their freedom. Where do they go? What do they do? How do they earn? How do they prepare? How do they care for themselves? They ended up, after gaining their freedom, most slave owners gave those slaves portions of land, which I need to say this. The portion of land that some of these slave owners, masters, gave their slaves have since been recouped. Listen to me now. Slave owners, slave masters, when slavery ended, to get slaves to continue to work their land, they gave these slaves, the slave master gave these slaves plots of land for themselves. That is what is going on today. There are people of African ancestry whose family was given land when slavery was abolished. And since slavery has been abolished in America, America has gone about getting back every piece of land that a slave master gave to a person of color. Surprise! You didn't think I knew. I stated this before. People will say that God or the Creator knows all. You can't hide anything. Let me, in addition, I might have put this on another video. Let me, in addition, say this. There is something else that knows all. You can't hide from it. Any of you out there care to guess what else is all knowing, all hearing, all feeling, all seeing, everywhere at the same time? Any of you out there to guess? You care to guess what that is? Energy. But dare we say energy is not God? But God can be energy. So why, if God can be energy, why energy cannot be God? You can't accept it one way and refute it the other way. As I believe, as God is all-knowing, omniscient, omnipotent, omniscient, whatever, all those omni things, right? So is energy. So what I decide to do, me personally being spiritual, I choose not to give that which I believe in, a creator, God, a name. Everyone, let me throw this out here. This is something I want to say too. I really want you guys' input. Please explain this. And I try to continue to hit you guys with some things to make you think. If Buddha, Allah, Jesus, who's the Son of Man, Son of God, and Jehovah, and Yahshua, all those names, not poking fun, I just don't know all those vowels and consonants. Yashahimak Shak, or whatever you say. All these different tetragrammaton, whatever, okay? Explain to me this. All these different names for God. And everyone's saying that their God is the true God. Then answer this question. Whoever God is the one true God, and then everyone else has a different name for that one particular God, explain to me why humans only use 9% of their brain. Whether you believe in Allah, whether you believe in Buddha, whether you believe in Sikhism, whether you are Jewish, whether you are Hindu, whatever you believe in, you as a human believing that your God created you, happen to coincide with the percentage that another God, someone believes in another God. You got Jehovah, then you got Allah. Jehovah and Allah created two people with the same exact percentage processing power in your brain. Neither of you have more than 9% processing power of your brain, and this was unanimously decided by two different gods. Is that what you're saying? Sounds silly, don't it? This is just me. There's a word, I mentioned this before. That word is called change. CHANGE. That word is not effective if it's never used. I think the only time you will hear change come out of a person's mouth back in the day was when we dealt with pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. We don't say change in reference to currency anymore because everything is more plastic, debit, whatever. So then you would say we would use change when any given situation, except using change perhaps where we need to change something the most for all the other changes to pale in comparison to this one change that no one is seeing. There's a reason why, again, not toot my horn, but shout out to my ASC mechanics out there, electricians and everything like that. There's a reason why with mechanics or electrical things, such that, things of that nature, there are things called preventive maintenance, periodic maintenance to keep something working in the order where it's most productive. Dare I say, there is no periodic maintenance that has been applied to the ideologies that started thousands of years ago. They don't need to be touched up. They're not shaking and rattling loose through the number of years that they've supposed to stand for this, and this is all they will ever stand for. They had the greatest impact in the time when they were presented to people that knew nothing about sitting at a desk, learning and reading. The people that shed these ideologies, shared them, got people that were generally looked upon as farmers, hunter-gatherers. They look at a book and like, cool, we got something to keep us warm. We're going to use this for the fire. That's what the book was meant for back then. So back then, the book was read by scribes or clerics, and it was presented to the masses in a story. Listen to me, in an allegory type of way, in a parable type of way. The same way that any text that you pick up today tries to convey a message to the masses. Instead of coming straight out and telling you what it is, there's apprehension that the mass of people, the general mass of people, will not understand it if you put it out like this. So we're going to color it so it makes it easier for them to remember and relate. And hopefully, as time goes on and goes by, they're able to unravel what it means, not being able to fully understand what it means when it was delivered to you like a poem or a kid's nursery rhyme. I just said that for a reason. So whatever reason you guys that are watching, when I said nursery rhyme and one popped in your head, there is your proof for why it was a nursery rhyme. The human mind, it's a blank slate when you're born. It's also open. What's the word? It's open field. It's clean slate. It's open game. It's who can get to whomever children early enough to affect them and their direction and production for the entirety of their life. And essentially, what happened for the descendants of Africans that were brought here, African American, we've had to struggle and fight to build a stable foundation from which to build on, because they know a stable foundation provides stability for someone to have a direction and a purpose in life. So as long as they keep that foundation unstable, who deals with foundations? Who built the foundations of the pyramids? So if they built the foundation for the pyramids, I didn't say their name, but that name should have popped in your head. If they were the original people that built the foundation for the pyramids, how is it that in this country they are denied that same foundation that they should know how to have and build? Does that make sense? Egyptians, Africans, Masons built the foundation for the pyramids. A lot of people of African descent were sold here. But this was so much further after Egypt, of course. So we're still descendants from Egyptians, from Masons that built the foundation for the pyramids that they still can't say how we really built. So how is it then, today's world, there's a desire and a need for the African American to be viewed as property and someone that is an animal that cannot provide for themselves, when you eliminate every resource that they would need to do that, but you provide every resource to someone else of a different ethnicity, knowing that the African descendants of Egyptians, Africans, not all are, but generally they should be. We know how to build a foundation for ourselves. We don't accept help when we have the tools that we need to build our foundation. And for someone to come and to chip away at the foundation that we're building for ourselves says to me, as I was pointing earlier, you chose to make me your master. By affecting me in what I do and how I can be productive, I monopolize your time. You probably think about the person that you hate the most or dislike the most for whatever reason more than you would devote to your God or your Creator. Think about that. If a person monopolizes your mind more than the God, Jehovah, Allah, who's your God? Indentured servitude. Slaves were freed. But now they had to worry about how to provide for themselves. So the slave owners, to keep those slaves there working the field, they ended up giving them land. Since they've done that, America has done nothing more than to get back every stitch of land that a slave owner has given a person of color, even to this very day. A lot of people don't know that. I do. So you have atrocities that was inflicted upon individuals, some that were brought across the waters, the Atlantic, some that were already here, entrenched with Native Americans, and some that also came by way of Muslim travelers or whatever, who they also, Muslim travelers, these were actually people of color. They were, any person of color back in the day was called a Moor. If you were black, they thought your name was Moor. You tell me. That is a Moor that's with George Washington. That Moor with George Washington was not in shackles and chains. At the same period, George Washington had slaves that were in shackles and chains. But here, this Moor was not. Look that picture up. Moors, unbeknownst to me, these guys traveled the world, the globe. They had everything to do with Spain, a lot to do with Africa. Hell, they are, what do you say? They are sovereign. Wherever they go, they can declare their sovereignty through and through being a Moor. So what I would think is that someone who is of a Moorish heritage would be very valuable. Valuable enough for people to want to mislead, misdirect, misinform, copycat for the very sovereignty that this individual has. But it's kind of a whitewashing going on, because as long as this individual does not know of their heritage, then we can get the abundance attached to their heritage. Who would be the people that would be able to actually go in, keep someone in the blind, in the dark of who they are, where they're from, and then get abundance that's theirs? It will be a concerted effort by more than one particular department, service, community. People that have access, as I stated before, have access to governmental services, Social Security Department, Department of Motor Vehicles that prints up IDs, statistics, clerk of the court, vital statistics, birth certificates, and everything. So if you have an organization that has members in all these vital areas, they can make people disappear and appear out of thin air. That's how they keep a person from finding out who they are and put someone in their place to draw the abundance that's duly theirs. The person you put in their place is someone that has robbed, steal, and killed for you and sat behind bars with the promise when they got out, their life would be beautiful. How was their life beautiful? To be beautiful? By giving them the identity of someone, just perhaps, that has a Moorish heritage. And in the states of America, United States of America, you're sovereign. While the true person of Moorish heritage, they do not have an accurate birth certificate with their real mother, their real father, hell, their real birthday. They don't know who they are. So they're not going to know that they are an inheritor of something. So this is what indentured servitude could perhaps veil things of this nature. A person mentioned to me, they said that afraid of you, you don't even know who you are. And I've always been cool with this person. I respected this person. This person happened to be Muslim. So I took it to heart when he told me that. And he said, I'll see you when you get back to Chicago. After him telling me I don't even know who I am. I said, I'm Joe, Swoop. No, that's your government name. Very important. That's your government name. What's your real name? That's what I got from that. Who? Why? Let me tie this off and then we'll jump back into this. Who and why? Indentured servitude. The government of the United States, along with the help of certain organizations, are going and recovering all the land that was given to slaves at the conclusion of the slavery era. So to offset that, at least in California, the talks have popped up again about reparations. There is, at least for me, should be one affirmation, as much to say of reparations. Particularly, you guys, some of you out there might like this, some of you may not, I don't know. From my point of view, just grant African Americans that choose, grant them this one thing. Y'all want to know what that is? How I feel? I am African. If you are not African, excuse my language. Don't say shit to me. Don't look at me. Don't call me. Don't interact with me if you are not African. African descent. White, Caucasian, Asian, Latin, any other ethnicity, don't say shit to me. Leave me to do what I need to do for myself. Don't get in my way, stay out of my way. You want reparations? You want the reparations I want? Just stay the hell out of my way. Stop putting the roadblocks. How do you stop putting roadblocks? Don't talk to me. Don't say shit to me. I come in the post office to get my mail. Give me my mail. Don't say nothing to me. I come in the store to buy my food. Don't jack up my prices. Give me my food. I'm gone. I go to the gas station to get gas. I pump my gas. You ain't got to speak to me. I give you the money. I'm gone. Don't speak to me unless you're African heritage, descendant of an African. Any word coming out your mouth, I might take as being misleading and misinformed. Your words mean nothing to me. Unless you are African, perhaps I'll listen to you if you're African, a descendant of African. But that's just me. In a nutshell, to say the least, reparations. Everyone, the 40 acres and mule, yeah, that's what America talked and barked about, and what happened. So I want to deliver a type of reparation that is so easy. You don't have to do nothing. America doesn't have to do anything to fulfill this reparation. Leave the African American the fuck alone. Stop patrolling our neighborhoods. We can do that. Stop bringing your drugs in our neighborhood. We can do that if we want it. Don't put us in your commercials. We'll make our own commercials. That's what reparations should be. I don't know about y'all, but real talk. Instead, people want money. So you can fall back down the rabbit hole that they've created for us. People want land. We want Caucasians to give us land and ownership when we were brought here the same time they were. What do you mean? Huh? Anyway, so that may have sounded like a little rant. I'm trying to think of anything else that I should say. Indentured servitude. So what I last said moments ago is America has gone about trying to get back the land that these slave owners, masters, had given people of color. And as I just stated moments ago, who made it your land anyway? We both got over here around the same time. Y'all brought us on boats, right? And so you brought us on boats and said, here, go get this piece of land, but pay me this amount of money and I'll give you this paper to make it official that it's yours. Who the hell made you that? I'm just saying, this is all, it's crazy to me. How about this? Show me the deed that the Creator gave to a certain ethnicity on this planet and made them master and ruler of every other ethnicity. And don't bring me the Bible. Don't bring me the Kabbalah. Don't bring me the Quran. Don't bring me any text that man has put his hand in. You're not going to be able to bring me anything that a creator has given a specific ethnicity that walks this planet as I walk this planet to say that they should be more in control than the next person. So those people that are in a position of authority and power, understand you are in that position of authority and power because it was granted, dare I say, you forcefully took it. But from whence things begin, they must return. And if I say, as I believe, that humanity started, cradle civilization, noted to be in Africa, do you know what that means then? If civilization, the cradle of civilization is in Africa, that's where it started. And the 360 of life, from when something begins, it shall end. Life will end right where it began. In Africa. Fight that all you want. That's just true. All the scientists, they've come, it's unanimous. This is one place all the other ethnicities originate from. And this is the one place they will all return at the conclusion. So I see, personally, what I believe is that people trying to stretch this out as long as possible, delaying the inevitable, essentially. But if I do not know anything that I'm talking about, definitely continue with a discaring attitude, narcissistic or not, or show emotion, truly feel as the empath that you may be. We are here for a purpose. some people's purpose will be discovered through their walk or their attempt to walk through this life, not being involved with one thing or another separates you from the herd or the pack and makes you a target. What these people do not know is that when they target you, they are choosing your purpose, your direction in life based upon the situation they put you in, that hopefully and to your benefit you come out of, only to turn and go back into it, but this time with your helmet, with your bulletproof vest, and with your swords of truth. You go right back in to the situation that caused so much confusion and in your life. Up to the point that they messed with you, you had no direction. Because people without direction will do anything to anyone, and in so doing provide those that they do something to an actual direction and purpose in their life. We harm someone or someone harms us. The person that is harmed, the victim, we have given them their purpose. Y'all see how that works? Whether someone did something to you or you heard someone did something to someone, the person that was truly hurt, you've given them a purpose in their life. So I'm feeling that I need to say this, and I'm going to tie this off. Thieves. You know, the last time I stole, really, I don't want to lie. I will say that we were out in Santa Ana and somebody left some deodorant and a cup or something. I don't remember what it was, but heck, I needed deodorant. The person left it sitting there. It was brand new. I ain't saying I stole it. I took it home with me. I was working. This was a participant. They walked, left it there. It was the end of the night. I took it. Anyway, the last time I stole something was myself and my foster brother. And this was in Chicago. And I followed his lead. We would go into the grocery store. Now, my foster brother was Caucasian and Jewish. It's wintertime in Chicago. We got these big puffy coats. And we go into the grocery store with these big puffy coats. And we acted like we wanted to buy something, but we couldn't even fake the fun. We couldn't buy something and steal something. We went in there purposefully to just steal because we didn't have a dime. And we would, these big puffy coats, we would pick up 2 and 3 candy bars in each hand and just slide them. How many of you guys did that? Slide the candy bars up your sleeve. And we walk out. We get home. We have 5, 6, 8, 10 candy bars. It was fun. It was a thrill. But I recognized I only did that because I was following my foster brother. And what I'm getting from that, please understand what I'm saying. I'm African American. My foster brother, Jewish, Caucasian. He took things upon himself to direct, to do something. Because I didn't have to make a decision and I wanted to stay in favor with my foster brother. I let him lead. What he did, I followed. That was when I was younger. So what I come to decide now is that I will not let anyone build the foundation from which I'm going to base my life off of. No more than anyone that has a solid foundation allow anyone to do in their life. Whatever that is. So in conclusion, I'm going to say this. There's a period of our life where we will be the follower. But people are not meant to be followers. People are meant to lead on their own walk, their own path. Truly, those people that continue to follow people are people that do not want to go on their path alone, a walk they must do alone. They don't want to do that. So they settle with following someone else. And following someone else in this lifetime energetically can carry over into your next lifetime, because the energy that's in you doesn't die. It comes and gets put into a new body. You just don't remember it. You ever had a deja vu? You've been somewhere, you don't know why, because you were there in a different body in a past life. That's deja vu. Your energy recognizes energy. Deja vu is the exact expression of energy that you were exposed to in a lifetime, and the right energies align again to replicate that situation, and boop, why does it feel like I've been here before? Because it was. Your energy recognizes all the energy signatures around you, and it sends off, hey, this is familiar. That's just a little hint for you guys about energy. Your path, as I stated, some people don't want to walk. They become dependent. They choose to let people lead them. They find joy in not making decisions about themselves. And what ends up happening, because at least this is what I believe, as people will say, if you don't learn the lesson you're supposed to learn, that's real nice, this whole twin flame and all this. I'm just keeping it straight, honey. Speaking of energy, whatever as an energy you do not master, yes, you will continuously go through that. Now, for some people, they don't want to master their craft. They enjoy being low vibrational. Let me say this so this can be conveyed well. Me, like you, where is this? Like you, me, like you, would love nothing more to be drunk my entire life or to live in an orgasm eternally. But then that wouldn't be living. So what does that mean? That means that we must control those things that we have a pull, a draw to more than anything else. If we know that we cannot use that as a foundation or a shelter, then we must learn to control it. We cannot use our alcoholism as a roof or as a foundation. Then we need to put it in its proper place. If we cannot, a lot of us can, don't get me wrong. If we can't build a foundation off of an orgasm, or an orgasm cannot provide us shelter, then we need to put it in its proper place. Now then, let me say this. There are some people, you speak about orgasm, it's going to build a foundation and it's going to put a roof over their head. Kudos to you guys. You're special. But for the rest of us, It's not going to build a foundation. It's not going to put a roof over our head. We need to put it in the right perspective. Addiction needs to be in the right perspective. What you do not put in the right place, that will put you in a messed up position for your lack of assigning a particular place for it to be. It will be everything. Sounded like a little rant. Thanks, guys. I'm tired of doing these hour-long videos, but I had to get that out. Again, this one particularly was dealing with indentured servitude. I didn't hit much on it. There was a lot of other filler things I think I had to say and share. I think they were important. Again, I am still going to do my tarot, but as I stated, now I'm just going to pick one subject in my tarot. And as I'm foreseeing, perhaps once a week, a reading on this one particular theme, one particular organization, one reading every week. So if this is not happening, then it's not happening. But now, I'm not talking about this there, that there. No, it's focused. This is my subject. This is a reading for them for this week. 1 week till the next week, till the next, you got it. You've made me your master, so I return that to you with all the attention you've given and placed my way. I'm putting it back graciously. The universe returns that to you. You have my attention now. You are my master. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make the first one right after this. Hey guys, thank you. Check it out. It's coming. 1 a week. A subject. One subject. I think I've done everything, the childhood trauma, the manifestations, the spirituality, woodus, and that. So now it's time for me to direct my energy in one particular direction. And that is the direction that's sending me energy. Thanks for listening.